There we go. It was a simple fix. I knew it was all working because yeah. Look, it's just part of the format now. Just accept that it's built into the show. It's always planned. It's part of the bit. It's part of the character, and it's part of what I'm known and beloved for. So we're all very happy when I start off with audio problems, despite having spent the hour before going live checking every single technical aspect of the show. It's okay. I mean, I see we've got Seth in the chat who has recently become extremely familiar with my inability to get sound to play, which seems like it should be the simplest thing that a computer can do nowadays. But I'm yet to fully master that. So welcome back to Multiverse. It's been ages since we've been on the actual ship, I feel like. It's been a long time. Were we on the ship last week? Maybe we were on the ship. I don't know. Every week feels like a month sometimes, you know. I don't really remember the last time we were on the ship. It feels like it has actually been a very long time since we've actually been on here. But I thought we'd go back to something a little bit simple. I know a little while ago we did start a project. We were writing a movie together. We were doing an outline of the C2universe, our prelude to a reboot. We were gonna start off a franchise by rebooting the franchise in the first thing. So the entire first movie of the cycle was going to be just chock full of references and Easter eggs to a franchise that hadn't yet been seen, and then we were going to reboot it at the end and start a whole new franchise at the end. It's going to be two franchises in one. You can't get more bang for your buck than that. But I thought today we'd go back to that sort of thing, but we'd do it a little bit differently, and we'd just write something from scratch today, because I feel like that project is still in its gestation period. We will get back to it. I want to get back to it. But there's a lot of outlining still. There's a lot of treatment stuff, a lot of of characters still to figure out. We still need to plan out all the Easter eggs, and there's just a lot of preamble to that. So I thought it'd be fun if we just dived right in, because I want to get onto the script writing part of it. That's the fun part. And I thought, what better way to do that than to adapt a property that we all are very familiar with, we all know it, we all love it. We can easily jump straight into the voices, straight into the lives of these rich, fleshed out characters, and maybe flesh them out a bit more, maybe give them a bit more of something that we feel like they're missing. You know, it's this thing that I love, this bootleg Looney Tunes thing, Tweety Bird, but he's a gangster. He wears a do-rag and holds a gun, and it's that sort of thing where it's like, I like this character, I do like this character, but if only they were entirely different and very sad and very aggressive, I think I would like it more. I do love this character, and I'm using all my genuine talents to create a work of art using this character. I just wish everything about the character other than the basic aesthetics was changed. So if you haven't seen the tweet, you didn't see the announcement, you haven't read the name of the stream today, the property I have chosen for us to play around with today is, of course, Ziggy. So I'm gonna jump into my close-up, big head mode, and I've already got a document open. This is today Ziggy, the major motion picture, Ziggy, the feature film, and obviously we yes, that's it. This will go beyond parody. This there's nothing fair use about what we're doing today. We're going to make something that makes the Ziggy lawyers sweat, because they think, God, that's such a good idea. We want to do it, but now we can't without paying these guys money. We need to find some legal loophole. We need to destroy these guys so that we can claim their idea as our own, because it's so true to the character. It's so accurate to Ziggy. It's basically an official Ziggy script. I want the lawyers to think, well, we could have written that. We might as well have written that. It's so close to the real thing. So yeah, we know Ziggy very well. We've got to know Ziggy very well over the past month. I'm going to be honest. I'll put my cards on the table. I had never read a Ziggy before Egg started doing it on her stream. If you'd have told me I'm reading the newspaper comic Ziggy, my mind would have gone to the pinhead. I would have thought that's what you're talking about. I think that's Zippy, but in my mind that would be where I'm not familiar with Ziggy. Now I am, after having watched, I don't know how many hours over the past things. Yeah, well, now you've seen like 10 hours of Ziggy. There's been a lot of Ziggy over the past month. Yeah, I had never, and I like newspaper comics, and I don't think I've picked one up in many years, because I don't really read paper news anymore. It's all on our screens nowadays. You ever notice that? You notice how we're always just looking at screens nowadays? So I have gotten, as you have, Seth. I've read Ziggy. Now I have really read Ziggy, and I think I know Ziggy, and the impetus for it, the little seed of this idea came from one of Egg's shows, when we were all chiming in, pitching our own Ziggy one-liners, and it just occurred to me, I think someone said, you should write some fan fiction of Ziggy. And I thought, yes, of course I should. Of course we should collectively be putting our own stamp on the Ziggy franchise, on the Ziggy saga. We should be writing Ziggy and giving it a little more oomph. There's all these hints of Ziggy as a character. Ziggy is very lonely. Ziggy is ambiguously aged. He sits on Santa's lap, but he also drives a car. He is constantly depressed. Quite a few of the lines that should be gags, should be one-panel gags, do just seem to be him trying to convince himself that life is still worth living. There's something rich behind Ziggy. Who's the man behind the mask when it comes to Ziggy? That's what we are going to figure out today. So yeah, I mean, this show is, I should have told you in the interview, you're asking about the show and the character and the me of it all. And I should have told you, really what Multiverse is about is making you think about these things you haven't really thought about, such as we look at screens quite often. Let's have a little look at this, shall we? I'm doing it on my phone, so I won't be able to show you it. Everybody click that link. It's very important that you click that link in the chat. And I'll put it in the Discord as well, so that if you watch the VOD, you can do it. That is, yeah, there you go. Today's comic is Ziggy, Sad Sack Ziggy, the modern day Job, flying his kite, and he has been picked up in a gust of wind. The wind has been so blustery, so strong, that it has actually launched him off of the ground into the path of a commercial 747. And he is going to die. There's absolutely no doubt about it. That would kill you. That would kill you. Oh, there's a comment on it. There's a good comment on it. Is there? I'm losing my chat every time I do this, but I think it's worth it. It's fine. The comment: "Don't look up in the air. A guy with no pants and a loose shirt." That's from Jeffin, the premium member of the Ziggy website. Ziggy's shortcomings are in plain view, says Cactus Bob. Plain, of course, spelt like an aeroplane or airplane for my friends across the ocean, across the pond, across the Atlantic. And then Mr. JRB, 1 hour after Cactus Bob's comment, has replied, "Don't look, Ethel." The meaning of that, lost to time. But were I Ethel, I too would hope for a friendly voice to urge me not to look, lest I witness my good friend Ziggy crushed by an airplane. We can license it. Oh, $35 is pretty steep for one-time use. If you could license it for commercial use, if it was on Adobe stock and you could use a monthly credit to license it in perpetuity, I would do it. I would get us the commercial rights to a Ziggy comic. But 35 for one-time use might be a little bit much for this. But we don't need to use the ones that exist already. I'm getting double comments for everything. It seems like you're all very eager to let me know. Everything is coming through twice for me. Just realizing you can't see the chat again. I keep turning the chat off. It doesn't matter. I'm just, like I said, I'm just repeating it all like I'm reading a Dear John letter in a movie. What about our own character, Zoggy? We could do, maybe is that something to think about? That if we can't do Ziggy, I mean, this would give us more legs. I realize we might have to destroy the VOD for this one so that nobody knows that it started off as a Ziggy. But then again, there are like superhero characters who were born as parodies of other superhero characters, like Watchmen. No one's getting in trouble for Watchmen, even though everybody knows, which character is supposed to be which pre-existing character. But there is obviously a precedent for being able to admit that your character is a jump off of something else and still make money off of it. So yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah, all right. So this is Zoggy, the motion picture. Okay, the religion section. There's a religion section. What, of Ziggy or of Go Comics? Yeah, $600. Have we got that in the Cable 2 PayPal? Have we sold enough merch to buy a 2-year lease of a single Ziggy panel? The religion section of Go Comics is well, I mean, yeah, he's I would probably become religious. As I said, there's no atheists in a foxhole, right? I imagine the same is probably true for people flying into the path of a jetliner, knowing that their death is imminent and perhaps welcome, but you still want to make your peace, don't you? Even so, if you suddenly realize, shit, what if I was wrong? What if I was wrong all this time? Might as well say sorry before I'm squished. Right, let's click on this one. What is this one? So this, I'm going to describe it, is a 2-panel check of a comic called Reality Check. I don't know this one. Is this online only? Is this syndicated? It's copyright Dave Hammond, and it's a naked man, Adam, presumably, saying, "This is great and everything, but I can't help but feel something's missing." And the tree, not the snake, the tree is saying, "No problem." And it has given him, oh yeah, it's a McRib. And Adam is saying, "Nom nom nom." He's enjoying the rib, the McRib. And that's the two lines, and that's the 2 panels. They got it done in 2 panels, which is just incredible economy of words and humor there. I hope that we can be as smooth, as well crafted, as professional, as skilled a wordsmith as Dave Hammond. in that particular strip. So this is No, not Ziggy. It's not Ziggy. It's nothing to do with Ziggy. This is Zoggy, the major motion picture. The first ever 2-line movie? Yeah, sure. I mean, this whole movie could be a series. If we want to stay true to the source material, we could do the Zack Snyder thing where it's like ripped directly from the panels. No creative vision on our end. We can just do it exactly like the comics, and we can just have it be a series of 2 panels. Just every scene is like 30 seconds. And it's just another 2-panel like setup punchline. That's it. What do we know about Zoggy? So Zoggy has a dog, right? Who I believe is called Fluff in the unnamed inspiration, but Zoggies would be called Fliff, Floof, Flaff, Fuzz, Scruff. Trying to think of. I'm looking over at my dog's bed as if that's going to give me inspiration for what characteristics a dog could have. Fluff. Okay. So let's just jump into it. I told you we're not doing outlines. We're not. Oh yeah, that's right. You want me to form it like an actual script? Okay. Interior. Zoggies. No, that's not how you do apostrophes. Zoggies home. I am, as always, using a tiny, cheap Bluetooth keyboard to do this. Fluff, flaff, fliff. Why can't he have 3 dogs? All right, this one has 3 dogs. Wait, Soggy. What the dog is called Soggy, or Zoggy's called Soggy? Surely Zoggy's dog would be called Doggy, right? Zoggy and Doggy. Zoggy. Yeah. Welcome, Mike. Hello, other Mike. That's not a typo. What you're reading is not a typo. We've decided that we're calling him Zoggy. Zoggy and Soggy. Okay. Zoggy's home. Zoggy. What's Zoggy? He's just chilling out, right? Ziggy is usually just sitting, right? Well, thank you. I'm glad that we have the legal team's thumbs up on that one. That this is, I'm taking it from Super Jazz, from Mike Super Jazz, saying that that's okay. That is legal advice. That is official legal advice, saying that we are allowed to call our script Zoggy and sell it and make it into a film, and the Ziggy estate cannot sue us for it. I'm guessing that the guy who originally wrote Ziggy is dead now, right? So what's he going to do anyway? Yeah, Zoggy is always standing. Okay, so Zoggy is standing, motionless, in his apartment. His dog, instantly not formatted this correctly, right? Obviously, as any scriptwriter will know, you have to scream the character's name the first time that they appear in the script. Oh, his son does the comics now? It's the same thing with Garfield, right? Because I know Jim Davis farmed out the drawings for ages, but is it his kid who officially does it now? I think, or is it still just his name because everyone has just accepted it? It's a Hans Zimmer situation where it's not really the guy whose name is on the label actually doing any of the work. His dog, Soggy, stands also. Okay, so far so good. We've started. This is good world building so far. We've established that Zoggy and Soggy have a home, and they have a lot in common. You know, they're very well connected. They're a good team. Zoggy and Soggy. They like to just stand staring at the walls. Suddenly, not a typical thing to find in a stage direction. Suddenly, that's more of a kind of R.L. Stine thing to do. But I'm really trying to get to the point with this script. Suddenly, Soggy barks once, and then we're going to put that in just in case. Soggy bark. Okay, good stuff. R.L. Stine. I mean, an R.L. Stine Ziggy. We should absolutely. I'm putting on the calendar. I said I was going to start making a multiverse calendar, so we'd know what projects are being done when, what format is going to appear. I will add Goosebumps to the calendar. I think that is absolutely a Cable 2 project. And then the good thing about writing stuff is, as soon as we've done it, we've then got an event on our hands, because then we can do a read. We can do a full dramatic reading of it. We can even get more pre-recorded stuff. We can film this. We can put it together. We can actually make a full-length film altogether. I've been saying this for months. We can make a film together. We can write a best-selling novel and we can adapt it into a film. Yeah, see, this is like a vertical integration at its best. You're welcome. Yeah, Zoggy. I feel like we're going to get a lot of people. Uh, every new joiner, I feel their first comment is going to be Zoggy. Don't worry, it's deliberate. Our character is named Zoggy. Oh god, yeah, Halloween. We didn't really do anything for last Halloween. We were really young, weren't we? We just been up for a month or two, really. So we didn't really have anything prepared. But this Halloween, Halloween 21, is going to be very very good. Um, oh, Under the Hat. Of course, that was a Halloween production, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh wow, actually, come to think of it, we were. I mean, I say we. That was 100%. That was just Cheetah and Egg. But that was. I didn't realize how early on that was in our life cycle. That's really good. Like, did we really have something of that value, like that much production value, that early on in our life? That's insane. Also makes it seem even weirder that we there was Under the Hat in October, and we're still begging for an Under the Hat too. It was high production value. It was really good. They had some guy appearing in a mirror. You had little 3D pets appearing. You had a hands-free, or as far as the visuals were concerned, a hand-free method of changing scenes. That was incredible. No, I could see how stressful it was. Even just waiting in the wings, I knew how much work was going into that. I do not blame you for not making that a very regular thing. But just know everybody would love to see it back, and I'm very excited about the next project. I know you teased another project, you and Sheila, and I was talking about doing a project with Sheila, and then I just stopped replying to her a couple of months ago because that's how I do business. Okay, and I've said that before on the stream. I just want to reiterate that if you ever do try and have a conversation with me one on one, there will be gaps, and as I said before, it's not because I'm not interested. It's just because my brain doesn't work. Um, Zoggy meets Frankenstein. Yes, that's good. Under the Hat 2, 6-month anniversary. Absolutely. Um, I will. I promise. Anyone who I haven't messaged back in 6 months, I promise you, I am going to message you back. I haven't forgotten. It's not that I didn't care in the first place. I will get back to you soon, every single day. And this is the honest to God truth. I think, what am I going to do today? Oh, I should reply. I should send that reply, and I just don't do it. But I will. Horse project sounds cool. Keep the relevant people abreast of that, and interested to see your full 25-point slideshow pitch on that one. We'll bring it in front of the board of investors, and we'll see. So yeah, Soggy barks. Zoggy, what's wrong, Soggy? And this is a little writer trick. So for anyone who hasn't written a script before, I'm just going to let you in, behind the scenes. You want to have your characters say the other characters' names quite early on in your script, because you need some way. We know what the names are, right? Because we're reading the script. But the thing is, on screen, you're not going to have these names on there. Okay, so you need the characters to say the other characters' names. You're right. Zoggy should bark as well. You're absolutely right. Okay, no, here we go. Okay, so he is actually barking. Yes, it is Zoggy. Messing up my formatting here. Okay, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so translated from a single bark. So this will all be subtitles. It doesn't like this. It doesn't want me to do parentheses. It doesn't like that I'm doing parentheses. But guess what, pal? You're getting parentheses. Okay. Watch Mike O forget how to use a program that he uses regularly. Okay. Here we go. Okay, yes, all right, autosave. It's decided that I've written enough that it's worth saving. Okay, so let's save that as a script. All right, are we happy now? Okay, it's happy now. This is like trying to think about walking, okay? Trust me, I do know what I'm doing. I know how to type. It's just that now that I know I'm being watch type, it's impossible. It does make sense that Zoggy would bark, doesn't it? It makes. This is final draft, so this is it's not even like an obscure weird thing. This is one of maybe two programs that you're gonna use if you write any sort of script. So it's not something that would be unfamiliar to basically anyone, and it's really easy to pick up anyway. I'm just as I said, my brain just doesn't work, and my brain especially doesn't work when I really need it to because I am on camera. So Zoggy says, "What's wrong, Soggy?" Soggy rises up on his hind legs and motions a paw out of the window. Again, this is not something that you generally do in a script, but I just want to, since we're probably going to be directing this as well, we I'm going to put some camera stuff in here just to let me know. Yes, absolutely. I mean, there should be fan art of this. Should be posters. There should absolutely be concept sketches. If anybody wants to draw, maybe I'll load up a drawing program. Or maybe not. I mean, it is on a typical day. I would be finishing the show in 15 minutes. So maybe I won't draw right now, but we will absolutely draw. This is at least 4D. We've at least got 3D glasses and a guy splashing water in your face, and a guy walking around with a bowl full of peeled grapes telling you they're eyeballs. So it's at least 4-dimensional, maybe more. It's got those things built into the seat, maybe that blow wind in your face, and like a little mister for the many rain scenes. Well, it will be, because the camera does a cool CGI sweep out of the window, kind of like something the Wachowskis would do. Outside of the window, we see Frankenstein. Okay. And again, we see Frankenstein, but the audience don't know it. So what I'm going to have to do is have Zoggy say, "Ah, crap, it's a Frankenstein." And then Zoggy barks. Frankenstein. What does Frankenstein do? Well, we need to introduce the eyeballs now, don't we? So Frankenstein knocks on the door. Zoggy. Oh no. He's knocking on the door. Again, seems heavy-handed when you're reading the stage directions as well, but it's you need, sometimes it feels like you're spoon feeding, but you just have to think about how it's going to translate onto the screen. I promise you this bit's important. Frankenstein or Frankenstein's monster? Well, if Frankenstein's monster is Frankenstein's son, then he is also a Frankenstein, right? In his own way. Adam Frankenstein. So he's knocked on the door. He said, "Yeah, Frankenstein's the big green guy." Which I think nowadays big green guys can get doctorates. So there's no reason why only one of them can be. The Doctor can be a Frankenstein. All right. So maybe you just need to check your biases. Check your biases at the door. Okay. Me and your biases. I'm over it. Okay. I'm washing my hands of your biases. Yeah. So in fact, let's establish that. Frankenstein. And we're going to put OS because he's off screen, because he's behind the door and we're on Zoggy's side of the door. I'm a doctor now. Zoggy. That's right. Frankenstein can be a doctor too. Soggy. Bark. So then Zoggy lets Frankenstein in. I guess after all that, Zoggy already knows Frankenstein. So then Zoggy says, establishing the relationship, Hi, Rumi. Hi. I'm so glad you let me come and live with you after Barbara took the kids to Santa Monica to stay with her mum. Zoggy. That's no problem. What are best friends for? Yeah, Frankenstein. Yeah, so Frankenstein's his roommate, and I guess they've probably known each other for a while. They knew each other before they were roommates, I suppose. Um, and sometimes you just need to let the characters tell you who they are and what their story is. It's one thing to write an outline, but you know who doesn't write an outline for his stories before he starts putting pen to paper? Stephen King, and he's one of the best-selling authors of all time. So as much as I generally like to have strict outlines of everything that's going to happen before I start writing anything, sometimes you just have to let it free. It's unconscious writing, like in The Sixth Sense, right? Sometimes that's what it takes to write a hit. That's right, Seth. And how is the audience going to know that unless they say that? Can you believe it's been almost 10 years since we did? How old would that make them? That would make them what, early 30s? That sounds about right. It's been almost 10 years since we did our masters together. Just stopping to think about masters. It's a master's degree. Is that apostrophe? Never had to spell it. Don't have a master's. Never really had to spell it properly. Hey, what's up, Slompy? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, Zoggy can say how they know each other. Oh, well, I gave that line to Frankenstein. But it's all right. Zoggy, I don't want to take good lines away from our lead, so I will have Zoggy confirm it. So Zoggy says, that's right. We know each other from that time in our lives. That's how come we're such good friends. Zoggy chuckles softly. Boy, remember when we thought that would be the most stressful thing we ever did? Frankenstein. Hey, Slumpy. What we're writing is we're writing a film called Zoggy, which is inspired by, but not legally associated with, the newspaper comic strip Ziggy. And Zoggy is Frankenstein's roommate. Frankenstein has been kicked out by his wife, who's taken the kids to Santa Monica to stay with her mum. And Frankenstein is now living with Zoggy. Having said that, not sure why Frankenstein's had to move out when Barbara already moved out with the kids. I guess just no one's living in the family home anymore. Maybe it was too sad to stay in the home once he was absent. There were too many reminders. Just kept opening drawers and just finding the family Bible in there and all of her socks gone, and it was just too sad a reminder. Heh. Yeah. What fools we were. Being in our early 30s, me separated from my wife, and you working. Where does Zoggy work? Yeah, this is going to be such a cash cow. Really such a. Can you imagine just the merchandising alone? Just the action figure potential from this high octane story is unthinkable. It's just a dream. Where did Zoggy work? I feel like Zoggy has sort of a dead end job. I guess he works at the post office. Is that where Ziggy works? He works at the Combination Subway post office. At the Combination Subway post office. Is this how you dreamt our lives would turn out all those years ago. Zoggy. No. Frankenstein's gonna get eviscerated. What? You think they're not gonna like him? You don't think they're gonna? No, I think they're gonna. I think. Well, like, I know what you mean because obviously, yes, it feels like, of course, this has just been designed for action figures for kids. You know, like an Ewok. But at the same time, there's heart to this. You know, this is a. You see the future. Why am I the one with a psychic show? You should be the one doing the psychic predictions. I'm lying. I'm lying when I'm on camera. I'm making it up. You see the future? How's that not come up before? Oh, you think they'll hate him because he's a divorced father? Yeah, maybe. This is we're going to correct all the damage that that marriage story did in the genre of a marriage breaking down. I feel like we're going to do a lot to repair that perfectly. Yeah, the coming of age story of the century, exactly. In fact, yes, I think you're right. What it is missing is the coming of age aspect. So now, flashback to um, interior, yeah, college dorm, 10 years. Oh no, that should be a little chyron. Okay, so we'll put a little chyron there. Again, chyron is a registered trademark. It's not actually the generic term for it, but I cannot think off the top of my head what a chyron would be called. So I'm just going to call it a chyron, which is not, again, not an uncommon thing. Sometimes you do see brand names in scripts. It's fine as long as you don't put it in the film itself. I'm not going to have a character say that there's a chyron. They can't see the chyrons, the characters, so it's fine. Chyron, 10 years earlier. I was going to say they're in the quad, but I've already established as a dorm, and I don't want to go back. Frankenstein, do you think? I don't know. Frankenstein is old enough. I think it's public domain in every jurisdiction. I don't think there's any country that can still claim the rights to Frankenstein. I think maybe there's elements like we can't have him be green with bolts. Um, yeah, that's the thing. It's the design. We can't have the Frankenstein that is green with a flat head and the bolts because that was made just for the. I want to say was it Karloff who played that Frankenstein? I think that is we can't do that, but we can have our own version of Frankenstein. I feel like we can legally just make him the Robert De Niro version of Frankenstein, right? We can probably just splice in the footage from that. He's yellow with spikes. He's absolutely yellow. Yellow, the color of the show, the color of fear. One of the primary colors that you will see. The one in Soul Eater. I'm not familiar with that one. What does he look like? Is he cool? Is he yellow with spikes? Frankenstein. Young. Yellow with spikes. Sits on his bed. He is wearing a drug rug and a Rasta hat. He is, I'm going to put this in inverted commas, burning incense. I can't say more than that on Twitch. It's been made apparent to me. It's been made very clear to me, especially by Null, that I'm not allowed to say certain things on the stream, which will make some of the more dramatic moments of this film. We're gonna have to find some workarounds. We're gonna have to do some Hays Code sort of stuff. But let's just say he's burning incense. Zoggy, also young, wearing a Dave Matthews Band tour t-shirt and camo capris. Are they called capris when they're masculine wear? I don't know if they are. They are in my head. Long shorts. That's what I want to say. But they're not jorts, but they're the sort of cut that jorts typically are. They're like the sort of length shorts that Kevin Smith likes to wear. Yeah, I think that sounds zoggy to me. Yes, that's it. We can make it up. And I think you guys in the chat are allowed to say that. I'm not sure. I think you're allowed to say that. Capris. Also, capris. Oh, I guess it's like trousers or pants, isn't it? Where it's always plural, no matter what. So I was worrying, like, how do I pluralize capris? But I think they always are. Yeah, P asterisk T. He's sm asterisk king, some P asterisk T. Zoggy. What are they doing their masters in? Do we know? Obviously, they're doing a similar subject, I guess. Um, because they're roomed together. Do you even have a dorm for a masters? I guess you could. I feel like masters is a postgrad course, right? It's an adult learning thing. It's not something you go straight into from school. You are kind of an adult when you're doing a masters, typically, unless you're a prodigy. You can get, yeah, I think, yeah, you probably can. I don't know if it's typical. I don't know if because most people doing a masters are like, I guess, no, I guess you can go straight from a bachelor's to a master's. But I do feel like generally a master's is something you've been out of school, you've sort of established yourself, then you think, oh, I'm going to go back and do my master's. But not the case for Zoggy and Frankenstein anyway, because we've established their early 30s, and so they probably went straight to a master's. They're both doing a master's of fine arts, sure. Uh, hey, pass me the. He starts to say k, which I can't say, but then he gets cut off. A fire alarm blares. Hope that wasn't my incense. Zoggy, it probably wasn't. Let's go. And you see the clever thing I've done, that I said I wanted them to be in the quad, and now something has forced them out of their dorm. Another little writer's trick for you. If you want your characters to go somewhere, but you can't be bothered to press backspace, you can just have a fire alarm go off. That forces them into the place that you'd rather they be for the scene. Let's get down to the quad. Well, it's going in. Look, this is a collaborative process. Your cat is part of it. The dorm president. What are they called? The RA, the resident advisor. Is that what you mean? I don't know. I don't know how American schools work, except from TV. And there is always a fussy RA. Yeah, okay. They head out into the hallway. Who's the RA? Should this also be an established character? Maybe this is someone that we're going to meet later on. That as an adult, once we get back to the present day. Is there a character like that in Ziggy? I don't know. Egg, you're the expert on Ziggy lore. Oh yes, it could. Oh, it could. Both of those are such good ideas. Frankenstein's wife or Adam Sandler. There are no characters in Ziggy. That's true. And again, all the chat comments are still coming through twice, so that sounds like that's your mantra. There are no characters in Ziggy, like you're a member of Project Mayhem. There are no characters in Ziggy. There are no characters in Ziggy. That's right, just people. There are no characters, just real people. Ziggy is what happens when you stop being polite and start being real. Adam Sandler is Frankenstein's wife. I was thinking a Jack and Jill situation. Why not? I think Adam Sandler, now he's in his dramatic phase, he could probably make a pretty good Frankenstein. I don't hate the idea of Uncut Gems era Adam Sandler playing depressed, divorced as Jack and Jill. Adam Sandler is Frankenstein? Adam Sandler is Frankenstein? Yeah, Adam Sandler is Frankenstein. Which is not to say Adam Sandler can't also be Frankenstein's wife. It just depends where we want to go. Because I feel like if we've got Uncut Gems, Adam Sandler playing Frankenstein, we're running the risk of inviting Jack and Jill era Adam Sandler onto the set by also casting him as his own wife. Oh, I can't wait to see the art. I can't wait to see the art. Do I want to risk it? I'm going to risk it. Going to risk it for the proverbial biscuit. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Cable 2 art. Here we go. Oh, Zoggy is interesting. See you in the silly books. His catchphrase. Oh, we've got a Uridov art. Oh, yes. Can't believe we've got 2 pieces of Zoggy fan art already. I love the Frankenstein. Cool young Frankenstein. Yeah, really enjoying him. And that's Soggy. That's Soggy down there. Who, yeah, I guess is the guy who looks the most like the original. But I mean, what can you do with a dog? We can make him a different breed, I suppose. But I think his breed is fairly nondescript to begin with. Yeah, I would also smoke up, by which I mean burning incense. They head out into the hallway. Barbara appears. And see, this is a writer thing. So this is a woman in a script. So what we have to say is Barbara appears. She is beautiful, but not in a scary way. She's smart and has legs for days. And that's just a thing that you're gonna want to do when you introduce a woman in a script. Yeah, Awooga is right, and that's what you're going for, because something you need to think about when you're writing a script is who's going to read it first, right? It's the readers at the agencies, at the production companies that are going to be reading the script before they pass it on to the proper names. So you want to get them excited. You want to put something in the stage directions that doesn't necessarily push the story along, but gets them super excited. You want your reader to be saying "awooga" as soon as they read your first description of a woman. Yeah, they're at RISD. They're at RISD studying for their MFA. This is all canon. This is all established. And again, we want the audience to know that. So Barbara says, sexily, "Hey, no running in the hallways. This is RISD, not what's a good school that they might want to make fun of? Not SUNY. Don't know if that's a rivalry. Don't know if that's really a dig. But the way she says it is going to sell that slam. Okay, Pisty. Yeah, no, you're right. I'm gonna put that in. This is RISD, not Pisty. Maybe she says it, but look, maybe she says both. I like both. Also, it's RISD, not Pisdy. She's just riffing. She's workshopping. Oh yes, no, that's it. Yeah, this is RISD, not Pisdy. Frankenstein. You mean SUNY? Barbara. Yes, that's what we call it. Also, what's that I smell? That had better not be. And Zoggy says, cheese it, Franco. Frankenstein and Zoggy run to the exterior quad. See, now that they're in the quad, I've forgotten why I wanted them to be in the quad. Yeah. No, they hate all 12. They hate all 12 Sunnis. They hate Sunni 1 to Sunni 12. Yeah, well, that's going to go on Cinema Sins, Slompy. They're going to point out that plot hole, that it has been established within the universe that there is no running in the hallways, and yet Frankenstein and Zoggy run. But the thing is, Barbara can't catch them. Barbara is sexy, but she is slow because she wears 10-inch stilettos at all times. Even though she's very down to earth, right? She is very down to earth and she's very intelligent, but there's no reason she can't dress to impress at the same time. So she is always wearing neck breaking heels. So now they're in the quad, and the reason I wanted them in the quad, that's right. Yes, I'm sexy. Yes, I'm slow. Yes, we exist. This. Now they're in the quad. Frankenstein catches his breath. I just need to catch my breath, he says. It's for the audience. Then Zoggy says, this is definitely the most stressful time we will ever have in our life. Hey, by the way, what do you think of Barbara? And here's where we get back into the real C2 style of references and Easter eggs, because the audience is going to absolutely lose their shit at this line. I don't like her at all. I could never see myself settling down with a woman like this is Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas. Okay, it's we're cribbing from a masterpiece. With a woman like that. I don't remember if anything exactly like this happens, but it's the prequel thing, and there's a lot of I think they date the wrong partners at some point, and it's like, we all know what's going to happen, but they don't. Thank you. Cheers for the sitcom laugh. Yeah, this is solid writing. This is some of the best writing that I think I've ever done. Oh, please. I can't wait to see Barbara, because I don't really know what Barbara looks like in my head, except that she's got legs for days. In my head, she's just legs. She's all legs. She's like Cerebellum from Powerpuff Girls. She's just all legs. I can't wait to see Barbara. You're gonna have to put her behind a not safe for work spoiler in the Discord though, because we don't want to risk it. We've got some underage folk in the Discord, and we don't want to be getting in trouble by not warning them that they're about to see the world's hottest sex pot. Yeah, I'm an encyclopedia of movies. You forget that I am an interdimensional traveler. So while something as good as Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas might not exist in your world, I am fortunate enough that I have been to a world where there is such a thing, and it is wonderful. Alan Cumming plays the Great Gazoo in it. He's very much the inspiration for the multiverse character of Mike O. I should just make myself tiny, sat on Flintstone's shoulder. I think I've just accidentally stumbled on a new format for the show. I'm going to put that on the calendar. Okay, so everybody loves this, and now I think that's enough. That's so flash forward to interior. Yeah. Zoggy's home. There we go. Frankenstein is passed out in front of the demo screen of Guitar Hero. Zoggy smiles and puts a blanket over him, kissing his forehead. Good night, bro. Frankenstein. Good night. Thank you. Where do we go? Where do we go? We haven't got long. In fact, we're kind of at the end of the show. So in fact, maybe that's a perfect time. Now they've gone to sleep. Maybe it's time for us to go to sleep as well. I feel like we just got into a real momentum, but that's the slot. Look, and I'm a professional, and I always start perfectly on time, and I always finish perfectly on time. That's it. We'll come back to this. Look, I've saved it. Autosave is on. It interrupted me earlier. It's been on. What, are we happy with that? We think that might be maybe that's the short that we put on Kickstarter to get the full funding that we need to make this feature film. I think that'll do it. That'll definitely do it as a short, and then we'll expand that short into a feature length film, like Bottle Rocket. Yeah, absolutely, we'll shop this around. This is going to every single major player that I can possibly find the email address of. But that's it for this week's show. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Thanks to new people. Slumpy, I think this might be the first multiverse that I've seen you pop up in. I know you've been around, hovering around the C2 universe for a little while, but thank you very much for popping in. And thank you to everyone for joining me again. Remember, as always, to be kind to every version of yourself. And thank you very much. We'll come back. This is every Sunday. We've got loads other shows. What have we got coming up later? We've got some shows coming up later. Thank you very much. No, thank you, everyone. And I will see you next week. Until next week, I love you all. Be good. And I will catch you in the Zoggyverse. So, see ya.